How do you rebuild a neighborhood? Well, what if I told you the answer wasn't a huge government grant or a team of city planners, but a video game? It sounds pretty wild, I know, but it's exactly what happened in a neighborhood in São Paulo.
I mean, just look at this. On the left, you've got this crumbling, garbage-filled staircase that you'd probably try to avoid. And on the right, it's a totally vibrant, colorful public space full of people and life. It's the same exact spot, the Jardim Nakamura staircase, and its story is all about community, creativity, and, yeah, digital blocks.
So the big question is, how on earth do you get from that before picture to the after? Well, here's the kicker. It wasn't some top-down city project. The secret was actually giving the power to the people who lived there, letting them design the change they wanted to see.
Okay, so let's set the scene. In a massive city like São Paulo, public staircases like this one are super important. They're shortcuts, pathways, essential links. But so often, they end up neglected and run down. They become places people feel unsafe, places you just hurry through instead of enjoying.
But a local group called Mind the Step looked at these stairs and saw something different. They saw potential. They thought, hey, what if these weren't just staircases? What if they could be parks or playgrounds or community hubs? The real challenge, though, was figuring out how to do it with the community, not just for them.
And that's where this really unique tool comes into the picture. To tackle the Jardim Nakamura staircase, the team used a special method called the block-by-block playbook, which was developed with UN-Habitat.
And this quote, man, it just says it all. The whole point of this playbook is to give a voice to the people who actually live in a place, the real experts. It's all about flipping the traditional planning process on its head.
So the process is actually pretty straightforward. It's broken down into 3 main phases. First, you have the planning phase, where you figure out the site and what the community really needs. Then comes the part that sounds like a ton of fun, the Minecraft workshop. And finally, implementation, which is all about making those digital ideas a physical reality.
And this isn't just some high-level theory, you know? The playbook is full of really practical tools, like this template for brainstorming. It helps guide people through the process of pinpointing problems, imagining a new future, and then turning that big vision into actual concrete goals.
All right, now we get to what I think is the most fascinating part of this whole story, using a video game as a legitimate tool for urban design.
So, for anyone who isn't familiar with Minecraft, just picture digital Legos. That's really all it is. You can build absolutely anything you can dream up, block by block. And that makes it this incredibly easy-to-use, powerful tool for people of any age with no training to visualize their ideas.
So, during these workshops, residents, we're talking everyone from kids to grandparents, sat down at computers. They weren't just being asked for their opinion, they were literally handed the controls. They got to use Minecraft to build their dream staircase, trying out different ideas for murals, benches, a slide, you name it.
Now, using Minecraft here isn't just a gimmick. It's actually a brilliant way to get people involved, especially young people who are almost always left out of these kinds of conversations. It just makes the whole process more creative, more visual, and it gives a voice to people who might not feel comfortable speaking up in a traditional meeting. Okay, so you have all these amazing digital designs. That's great, but how do you actually turn those pixels into real-life pavement? Let's get into how they made that happen.
This right here was the key. Those Minecraft models were taken seriously. They became the official design brief. A team of architects and planners took what the community built in the game and translated it into a professional, buildable plan, making sure everything was safe and structurally sound.
And then came the absolute best part. With that professional blueprint ready to go, the community rolled up their sleeves and built it themselves. They were the ones mixing the concrete, painting the walls, and physically creating the space that they had first dreamed up in a video game. How cool is that?
And they weren't doing it alone. This was a true collaboration. Local artists showed up to help with the murals, gardeners helped with the planting, and the partner architecture firm helped build all the custom furniture. It was this amazing ecosystem of people working together.
So, after all that planning, all that designing, and all that hard work, what was the final result? What did this place actually become? I want you to just absorb this number for a second. 660. That is the number of volunteer hours that the community poured into building this space. That's not just the number, that's proof of incredible ownership and pride.
And what they built is just fantastic. You've got these beautiful murals everywhere, a custom wooden slide, benches, and a picnic table for families. They even added a little community library and a blackboard. And, importantly, they made practical upgrades, like new planters to help with rainwater and bright LED lights to make the whole area safer at night.
And the change was immediate. Before, pretty much nobody lingered here. You just passed through. But after, the data showed a huge jump in people, especially young people and kids, actually using the space to hang out and play. It went from just a path to a real destination.
So looking at these two pictures side by side one last time, it's just night and day. It is such a powerful reminder of what can happen when you give a community the right tools and, more importantly, the trust to design their own future one block at a time.
And that really leaves you with one final question, doesn't it? Take a look around your own community. Is there a forgotten park, a neglected alleyway, an unloved public space? Just imagine what could happen if you and your neighbors got the chance to rebuild it. What would you create?